Hello everybody, welcome back to our single player world. There's a witch around here somewhere. It just sounds so really weird with the parrot noise. But yes, we are getting started today with a little bit of a different start. When I finished off the episode 2 episodes ago actually, when I finished off this spot over here, the ice cave, the ice orb. We just go there. Yeah, that was a good idea. What we did was we got destroyed by a creeper. And I said I was going to fix this, but I haven't yet fixed it. And I've actually it was about to come in. Oh. Oh, no. Alright, well, I was actually coming in about that. About that issue. Alright, so I was coming in here to fix up this. And the reason why I thought I'd record it was purely because I mentioned that a creeper did explode, but it didn't Why is this all of a sudden melting? Yeah, that is weird. But yes, what I said is the creeper didn't explode the one orb, but turns out a skeleton just did it. That is actually it. That is quite the start to this video. All right, so I guess I'm fixing up a bit more than what I was going to. But originally, what I was going to do is I was going to start off here and just fix this up and mention to you guys that about what I did miss. I ended up having to watch that back, and I was like, wait. Turns out it did destroy everything. And turns out now a skeleton's destroyed everything as well. Actually, how many of these do we have? Because that could have been 2 that it just took out. Yeah, I'm willing to say that's about 2 that's been taken out there. Alright, so I guess I'm going to have to do some ghast tear hunting to try and get this to be back to what it was. That's quite the start, though. Actually, in some way, I kind of like this look of it being broken. Maybe I'll just keep that for a bit. Alright, so I guess I'll get going on this, and I'll be right back, guys. So everything is looking quite alright there. I've gone ahead and fixed up the inside and even the top that I said I would maybe just keep open for a bit. But here's the good news. You know what? We've started off with bad news, but here's the good news. Jansey, repair your tools. I've got that comment so many times. Get mending on your tools. I've heard that one before as well. How about we do that? Because I've been AFKing, which is something I haven't done much on this world. I've got a little mechanism here which I'm not going to touch. But basically, this is my way of disposing of these villages. You can hear there's a lot. There's a lot. But look at this guy. I was just, whenever I get a librarian, I do a little trade. Got infinity. Not a bad trade, actually. I mean, infinity books are pretty useful. Just the normal old trades. Trade the bookshelf to get that. Trade the glass, which is the next trade. And then, the final trade. Mending. Look at that. Very expensive. 34 emeralds is a ridiculous amount. But, and a big but because I've just left my leather / books over here. That is a lot, but it's enough for us to say that we can get mending on something. And if I just spend double the amount of emeralds, I would go mining for those emeralds right now. In fact, I've got to do probably a bit of trading for those emeralds. Do I not have a book in here? Got these, but I thought I would have had a book in here. All right, so we'll just get one book, and I'm also going to have to do some Unbreaking 3 enchanting books soon. So let me go here, and now we can finally put mending on our elytra. So that's why I say this episode's a good episode. You know, we started off by blowing up our project. Fair enough. There's nothing too weird about that. So we'll put that in there. I wish I could shift click in here. That's infinity. Yep. Man, that feels good. That feels good to have a mending book. All right, so let's just go over quickly. Speed over there. No point in running down this whole long corridor. And now this is where everything is awesome. So let me just check this out, right? If I put that on, that's the pair of elytra I'm going to put it on, I think. So let me just change this around. 2 as well. 2 as well. 33. Very, very slight difference. I'm thinking... Let me just double check this because I feel like I've repaired some of these. Okay, no, I haven't repaired that elytra. Okay, turns out I actually had quite a few elytra which were good for a while. So let me just do that. Put that on there. And that on there. Means mending. Beautiful. Put this guy on. Switch it over there. That would have been too expensive, I guarantee you that. That one is what to repair now. Oh, it's already too... it's too expensive just putting it in there. Alright. So, I'm gonna get my elytra mended up. And the only thing we need now is Unbreaking 3. And of course, I'll get the mending books on for other things as well. But for now, I'm happy just where we're at. I've got this trouble over here with this farm where we've got the Endermen getting stuck in those corners there. Very weird. And it's been like that even before I did the back piece of it. Very, very strange. But anyways, let's get to some building. Alright, I have gone ahead and put on, over here, mending on this. Actually, I can take that off there. And also, of course, the unbreaking on that one there. And I ended up using that unbreaking elytra for the 38 levels it was, or something absolutely ridiculous. But here we are, back at the top over here. And actually, I've got to move that boat in back over there. I like it just kind of sitting there, looking like a bunch of junk. Oh, at least we got our elytra. Just sitting like a bunch of junk lying around the area there. Now, well, the plan is, of course, what probably the title is going to be of this, as per usual. We're going to be building an altar. And that render distance is just that little bit annoying. We're going to be building an altar for this thing, and I've got a bit of a thought for this, really. It's not just as basic as building an altar and that's it done. I want this altar to actually affect what happens in here. Not only that, I also want this to be a bit of a challenge to get up to. The challenge is something we'll do over a matter of time, but I think it'll be kind of fun, you know? We have an altar sitting up there. It's not going to be too very visual, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be popping out from here that as you come around here, you just notice that and you're like, wait, that looks really, really horrible. I want this to look good. I want it to be somewhat visual, visible from the bottom, but not very, very obvious. Maybe a bit of stone or something sticking out. But we'll see how we go. We'll see what happens. So here we are. This is the view that I was picturing. And my thought is, let me actually use my shovel for this. My thought is that I want to do this area around here, where we'll have the actual altar, where we will have a sacrifice. You have to either kill something, drop something. I've got a plan for dropping something on this one, but maybe in the future we could do something about for one of the others, because we're going to be doing 4 of these, right? Not all immediately, one after another, but this one's a snowy one. When we get to the fire one, we could be doing something else where we actually have to kill something. That could be kind of cool. Imagine that. You got to lure a sheep or something up there. That'll be kind of fun. So we're going to have to think about those when we get there. But for now, today, I think we're going to keep it nice and simple. And I'm going to build an altar over here. We're going to have a few pillars around the place leading up to it. And my idea is getting into this altar, and I'll come down here because I've actually got some plans for this. If you remember, there was an episode that didn't exist. So you won't remember the episode, but you remember episode 23, I think it was. I actually spoke about this where I thought we would have a really cool rock face over here. And I want to work on that because I've never actually done it before. But having this really neat rock face over here, I reckon will look really, really cool. And then that will even hide this altar a little bit more. But inside of this, well, this mountain that we're going to have, I reckon it'll be really, really awesome to have some trials to get through. Some challenges, maybe a few parkour challenges, maybe some, I don't know, maybe something else. That would be kind of cool. And you got to work your way up to the top. And it's not going to be just a little room. I reckon we can do something really, really huge. I reckon that'll be kind of fun. So that's what I'm going to try, and we'll see how we go. I think I'm going to get started on that right now. There we go. That's what I've come up with. Something very, very simple. There's a lot to improve on, and let me know what you think I can improve on. So I'll quickly give you a rundown on what we're going to be doing here. We want this to be automatic. We want to come up here, let's just get these diamonds, drop a diamond on here like this, and we want this diamond to be picked up, and if it is a diamond, switch the beacon on for a short time. And if it's not a diamond, we'll get to that a bit later. But basically, I think if we do that, if we can make a way of getting the diamond picked up and sensing the diamond, that should be very, very good. And what I'm going to do right now is, oh, by the way, another cool thing's going to happen. When I do that as well, let me just quickly go under here. Let me just remove this. You might hear it. A little flame will come on over there, just for a slight amount of time, because all I've got is, I've got a dispenser in there with an observer over here, and what we're going to do is we're going to connect that up, and if it is a diamond, of course, it's going to quickly shoot that off, shoot this back on again, and you wouldn't even notice, kind of like how we've done the flower farm, where you wouldn't even notice that is that tree going to be burning? It might. You won't even notice it, because it'll go up and down very, very quickly, and did I lose one of these? What happened? Maybe I did it too fast. Okay, that's weird. Let's just put that back. Alright, maybe it got crushed while it was an entity. You see there? There we go, it switches off. So I've got to get that started. I didn't actually realize it was this close to night. I'll quickly clear this away. So I've thought about the way that we're going to make this work. And one way is, of course, to use one of these. I'll show you what I'm about to do. I'll do that and that. Get one of these out. And basically, that is the way we're going to be picking up. This seems I've been getting these really big lighting glitches where all of a sudden it goes super dark underneath these spruce trees until I unload the area and come back. I can even put torches. It doesn't even help. It's very, very weird. So here we go. Let's get started. All right, so I'll put in one of these here. I'll put in the hopper right here. And what this hopper is going to do is it's going to pick up the item and then distribute it. So we'll do that there, hopper goes in there. One of these, actually, yeah, that should work. Let me just double check it, but I'm pretty sure this should work. So if we do this on top of here, and we put in, say, for instance, this, we just drop this on top here. Did that not get picked up? Okay, we'll have to go for option number 2, which is a different option. It's easy enough. It's very, very simple to do this next one, so I'll just do that. Get this out here. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to use the hopper down here then, I guess. So let's just get it facing the correct direction. One there. And we're going to push the minecart into, well, we'll push the block, which I actually was going to, I was using a dropper, but the issue with the dropper now is that the dropper's not going to be able to work in here. Let me just get rid of that. And I'll tell you why, because what's going to happen is now the dropper is unpushable, so we can't actually push it down here. So I'm going to have to push down something that looks similar to it. So for instance, an observer or a piston. Okay, talking about, yeah, piston's good. Piston's good. I actually mentioned last episode that I wanted some more things to do with pistons, despite the fact that this is not really what I had in mind. All right, so we'll do up here like that, and if I can get low enough, I think I might have to do, just get rid of that. There we go. And there. And, oh, my bad, I gotta go down one more, and there. All right, so what this is going to allow me to do now is it's going to allow me to push that piston block into the next, well, into, what is that? The hopper minecart. Man, I'm goofing around today too much. All right, so there we go, like that, and yeah, I've messed that up. Did I not? I did. All right, here we go. So this is actually the simple redstone. I don't know why I'm taking so long to do this. I was planning on hopefully getting this part done very, very quickly, but that's all right. It's not a problem. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And now this should work, where we can push this one into that one. Perfect. Wonderful. And now we should be able to do it. So if I do this, yes, look at that. And now that should be picked up in the hopper. Great. All right. So now I'm going to chain this hopper down, and we're going to need to make a way to actually get, well, a way of actually detecting whether or not it's a diamond block. A diamond. I was actually, in fact, I was thinking diamond blocks could be kind of cool, but we're not going to do that. So I'll show you the way we do that. So we, first of all, will need a little spot to make an item filter. And for those of you guys who haven't done it, it's actually a very relatively easy thing. It's, it might look a little bit more complicated than what it is, but it's actually a relatively easy thing. So we're going to have items coming in along this direction here, right? And if the item we need comes in here, we're going to get it detected by our item filter, and then it's going to put it through the item filter and then spit it out the other side. So because this is a little bit of just block placing, I'm going to quickly do it, and I'll explain to you what I've done. All right, so I'll quickly bring you guys back, because I've just quickly built this, and I thought if I go any further, I'm gonna lose a lot of people. So what I've done is the item's gonna come through down here. Let me just show you. Let me just do this just to be certain that we are getting everything working. So that's the chain that's gonna pull the item down. It's gonna come into here, and now what's happening with this thing? Basically, this comparator is reading this chest, this hopper over here, and if the item is the same one that's in this hopper, it's going to let it go through. If it's not, it's going to let it go one more over and then go through. So I'll show you exactly what's going on here. So if I do this, let me just think about this. I might actually have to do something a little bit smarter to do what I wanted to do if it's not an item. But if it is an item, we'll do this. You can see, look, no items going through. And we'll put in over here, I think it's 24 if I remember correctly, or it might be 18. Let me just put in 18 of these, 17 right now. And I think if I put an 18th one, yeah, it drops down. Perfect. Okay, so that's how it works. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen these before. And basically, what's going to happen is if that is the item, so if it is, let me just put in a diamond over here, and if it's a cactus, for instance, the diamond should land up here, and the cactus should land up there, right? So basically, pulls down, says, yep, can go, goes, says no, goes down there. That's the way it's going to work there. Now, my next thing is, I wanted to make a spot to get rid of the item, because I actually want this item gone. I don't want to keep my diamonds. I think it's a worthwhile thing. If you want to put this on, you can put this on, but you're going to lose your diamonds, and that's the point. I think it's meant to be realistic like that. So now what I want to do is I want to put in the little dispenser system. Well, it's actually going to be a dropper, dropping the item into a cactus, and I'm putting it out just a little bit further, just because I might have to do a bit more stuff here. So I'll put in the cactus. Let me just do that there. Cactus can go in over here. And if it didn't hit the cactus for some reason, it'll just despawn anyway. So it's not a big deal. There and there. So now what will happen is if this item comes through here, it'll eventually come through. And if it goes through there, it'll get dispensed out there. I think I might actually have to take this one down here just to read when something does come through here. So what I'll do is instead, I will just do this here. I'll do this here, and one more, but I can't do it. Okay, one more there. So now what's happening is the item, if it's not an item, it's going to come through those. If it is an item we want, it's going to come through these here. So then I could do that there. Okay. So my next stage is I need to actually get this one here to be red. So if I can just do this is actually very, very easy, and do this over here, that's going to read when an item comes through here. So let me just put through some of those there. Really? Did they just go through that fast? That should read an item, should it not? I would have thought. Okay, let me think about it. This is working absolutely awesomely, guys. I've actually never really had too many redstone projects that have come out this easy, as easy as I've been doing this. And now, you know what? I'm going to really regret saying that, but I think it is a pretty cool way this has turned out, alright? So let's just say we offer this over here. Drop that. Look at that. I mean, you saw them drop up and down, but that worked pretty well. I had a little bit of an issue where, remember when I showed you that one got lost there? It actually was happening when I was doing this properly. So here we go. This is, let me just quickly give you a very quick rundown. So this is that item filter. As soon as that gives us enough power, this over here will detect the power in this block. Fairly easy. That just sends it off to this direction and unpowers this, and which sets the thing off and then quickly powers it again. But the problem was that it was getting powered way too quickly. So what was happening, let me show you this. So basically, as these things fall, they turn into entities and kind of just get squashed. And the game doesn't know what to do. It just turns it back into the item. So if we can get that just a little bit slower, which is what I did, it works very, very well. So I've got this piece over here, this comparator, which basically this redstone signal goes out here. It unpowers these, and this keeps it running. So this takes the redstone signal and keeps it going for a little bit longer and extends that pulse just enough for us to not lose that block. Then over here, this is the next part here. So I've actually just got rid of this just because I didn't want to lose all my diamonds. While we're testing, we will do the proper thing eventually. And I've lost one, oh my gosh, I've lost one hopper because of the fact that it got dispensed out of this thing. So we would have had the perfect number of hoppers. So let me just put one of these in, right? It only works well for one item, this little thing I've got going on here. I've seen something similar to it. I'm not too sure if this is the same thing I've seen, but I think it works very, very well. So basically, the comparator reads the dropper, powers this block, which powers the powered rail, which powers the observer, which powers this block here again by powering that hopper. Well, actually, I think it actually works without powering the hopper, in fact. Let me just get rid of that and put this in here. I think powering just that air block, I think, is enough because of, yeah, like a quasi-conductivity type thing, I think. But that's it. That's that there. Now, this is the solution I had to come up with to that problem we had in the last clip, where I had this hop over here, which was getting all the items without me being able to read the, this dropper, sorry, without me being able to read the hopper. And basically, the comparator won't read the hopper if an item's coming through. It needs to sit there for a little bit longer than that. So I ended up saying, you know what? We're just going to use two of these systems here, and they work very, very well. Same thing for this side. It's the exact same thing. It's actually just hidden in that block there. But pretty much, they will dispense this item out into this cactus, and we lose it immediately. Very, very easy stuff. So I'll take the next pulse, the next thing off of this pulse over here for the bad stuff that's going to happen if you give it the wrong things. But besides that, I think it's about time we go ahead and rig up the next piece. And the next piece is going to be into there. And I think it's going to be quite a tough thing to hide the redstone. But I've got a way of getting this redstone down there. And it's the same way I did in the flower farm, but I didn't show you guys it very, very well. So basically, the way I'm getting this the signal down is I'm putting an observer. And then I guess I'll have to just do this for now. Then I'll put another observer, which of course doesn't work because observers place very, very funny. Really? Thought that could be. There we go. Perfect. All right. And then basically all you do is you put in one of these. Bam. And now that'll send the signal down. So if I break this block. Wait, what? Why is it not detecting anything? This one's not even detecting anything. That's very odd. That should be detecting at least a block around it. Like, through there, we should see the redstone signal. Okay, we do. Oh, you know what? I think we just can't tell. Okay, we just can't tell. Don't worry. It works. I'm just going crazy. So I'm going to go and put this in. So you may recall me saying, hey, this redstone's going fantastically, and I'm not having any troubles, but that was before I started having troubles. Right now, I've gone through the rest of this very, very quickly, and all of a sudden I started having a little bit of an issue now, trying to create a timer for this. It just wasn't working the way I thought it would, but that's not a problem. Currently, we can switch it on with one of these, and this is working right now, by the way. So every diamond we put in here costs us a diamond. Now that should take a few seconds, and voila, we've got ourselves our beacon. And this is only that single beacon. It's not going to go very, very far. And the way to switch it off will be through this way here. So give it a second. The diamond gets destroyed. Gives it a few seconds, and bam, all done. Now, the only way that this is working, let me show you. This is a very, very simple thing. So basically, the redstone, as I told you, that you know about this random extra delay thing here. We've got this chain of, what does this say? Powered rail to an observer to powered rail to observer. We'll just go all the way down even further. Okay, that is not good. Okay, good. Perfect. Oh, that could have been a bad time. Alright, so ooh. That's interesting. Okay, so I've actually got a mistake that is helping me out very, very well here. And I thought this was actually going to cause me a bit of trouble, but in fact, seeing this explains everything. Basically, let me just tell you what's happening here. So this signal is coming down very, very fast, and it's just giving us a very fast pulse. So this sticky piston can't hold on to this block, which is sending this off. But I thought we were going to have issue with this block just being stuck on one thing. I can see you, creeper. No. I thought we were gone far enough, but that's alright. I thought I made enough distance there. That's not a problem, alright. I think we've got everything. Yeah, we've got everything to fix it. It's not really a worry. So yeah, basically what happens is... I thought I saw something. I'm becoming neurotic now. This is actually just saving us. Just whatever. I'm not going to explain it. But basically, this is good. This is a good mistake, and it's helping me out a lot. So let me get back up here. I think I can do that. Yes. Hello. Yeah, that's exactly how graceful I do things. All right, then, of course, now the real important piece is what is the consequences? What are the consequences of doing something wrong? I was about to show you, but then I realized it was going to be really, really bad because I didn't have this set up. All right, so picture this. You're standing here. And by the way, this is my first time actually trying this, so I don't even know if it's going to work. But let's just say we threw in a piece of redstone. That's what happens. That actually took quite a lot of time, but yeah, you get smashed. Absolutely destroyed. So, basically my idea was, there's got to be some consequence of it. And I think this could even be a bad idea just in general, but let's just give it a go again. That goes in there, you kind of like, wait, is this coming on? Bam, smashed again. I thought that was a bit of fun. So basically, let me explain to you what's happening over here. Very, very easy thing. This is actually one of the easiest things I've built all day. Is in here, I've just got this line running off here, just ignore that. And I've got this torch tower, one goes towards the back of that dispenser, and that over there is the piston that releases the 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 fireball. Let me show you this in here. So the torch that I was talking about lands up being just behind here, and that powers this block, which powers the dispenser. And then there is the piston. Did I just break? I thought I just broke a block. Okay, so that's pretty much the way it works. I did just break a block. I thought I did. All right, I can't remember what block it is. We'll put in one of these. There we go. All right, so let's just give us another go, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So drop that in. Piston drops down first, and immediately after that... okay. I'm going to find that one day, and it should drop eventually. But basically, that's all that you have to do. You just have to have the one little redstone tick delay between the two things. Now, going in here, actually, let's... Before I go too far... No, that's not a good ender build. That one's on my face, and that one's in a perfect place. Okay, well, the thing that I was going to say is I've got to get this started so I can show you what's happening. And that redstone line that I showed you down the bottom there, by the way, runs all the way under the water to there. And now we should see this. So keep an eye out. There's a piston that opens up over here and lets this beam through. Very, very simple stuff, but I think it's a very, very cool little project. So for today, guys, I think that is the project complete. It's a very weird project, and I agree that it's not very functional, but you know what? It's for the hell of it. It's for the fun of it, you know what I mean? So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.